Oh campagnola bella, tu sei la reginella, negli occhi tuoi c'è sole, c'è calore delle vali tutte in fior. You and your guests too will sing the praises to these wonderful chicken dishes. So stay with me and learn how to make them. Buongiorno, benvenuti. Welcome to my free-range kitchen. Today we are cooking chicken. Yes, today you hear all this talk about free-range chicken and pan chicken and whatever, but from what I can remember, I always ate chicken like this. You hear of vegetables, organic, hydroponic, whatever. I mean, this is the way we were supposed to eat to begin with. So why don't we get there already and start eating like that? Now, chicken. Chicken is undoubtedly one of the favorites of everybody. I guess it's easy to make, it's healthy, it's quick, and this dish is bocconcini of boneless chicken, small pieces, bocconcini, one boccone, and small pieces of sausages, and just sort of caramelized together with a little honey and vinegar. I have a chicken breast, and I guess this is pretty clean. I'll be cutting this while I'm telling you. Okay. There is the Busan, or the smallest chicken, which is about a pound, and that is a wonderful chicken when you do a whole chicken, or if you want to grill the whole. Then there are the fryers, and those are from about 2 to 4 pounds. And they are exactly what they say. If you want to pan fry them, if you want to bread them and fry them. And then there are the roasters. And the roasters go from 4 to 6 pounds. And they're exactly what it says. They're good for roasting. So nice, good whole chicken for roasting. And what to look for is, I guess it's hard to say because there is so many bad chickens out there, really. Chicken that are just sort of slipping right out of your hands. Look for a nice firm chicken that the skin has some texture, is dry, and it's taut on, it's connected to the rest of the meat. A nice sort of healthy looking chicken. The sausage that I have here that I'm going to be using, there's the regular link sausage, and there's the Luganiga. I kind of like this long Luganiga sausage, and it's pork sausage, and I like it simple. I don't like the aniseeds in it, especially if I'm doing chicken, because I want to really taste the flavor of the chicken. Let's see, nice little pieces. Okay, I have some ready here because of time. Now, sausage, there's an endless array of sausage flavorings, and you know, you can ask your butcher. Most of the butchers make them. I'm going to add a little bit of oil. I'm going to begin with the sausages themselves, sort of caramelize them and get all. And what you want to do in this dish, you want sort of space, because you want quick, high, intense heat, and you want everything to be caramelized. As you know, chicken breast can dry out rather quickly. Now you can make this dish with other parts of the chicken if you prefer the thigh, or you can make it with chicken on the bone. Just keep in mind the cooking time. In that case, I would put the chicken right in with the sausage, brown it well, and then use more of the stock and more of the wine to let it cook thoroughly. slightly salt the chicken. High heat, intense searing off the chicken breast. I'm going to find a little corner here and just put a little bit of olive oil. And I'm going to put the garlic. I have chopped garlic here, chopped fine garlic. And when you chop the garlic fine like this, the garlic will remain amongst the meat and the sausages. If you do not want the garlic in there, but you want the flavor of garlic, take the whole garlic clove, crush it, put extra on, put 6, 7, 8, and just let them cook with it, and then you can see it and remove it. But in this case, I'm going to leave it, because if I were to throw it right in with the meat, it would stick on to the meat and then not brown or something, and then the raw garlic is really very, very hard to digest. So just make a little corner for that and let that caramelize also. Now, the chicken is nice and caramelized. I'm going to add just a little bit of honey. And honey is a wonderful product. Of course, it's a basic product. But in cooking, in roasting, the sugar makes everything caramelized. It gives it a wonderful color. If you are roasting, you're having a roast, and at the end you take a teaspoon of honey and you take some of the juices from the roasting pan and you mix that. And you brush the roast with that, you'll get a nice mahogany finish. There you go. You see the color that the honey is giving to the chicken? Okay, make sure that you don't burn it. But we put pepper at this. At this point I'll put a little bit of butter. See the goldenness? Now to counteract the sweetness, I'm going to add a little bit of vinegar. So, you know, it's all a play of flavors, a balance of acidity, sweetness, and okay. So I have the color there. I have the balance between the sweetness and the tartness. I'm going to add a little bit of white wine. Some more salt, a touch of stock, not too much because everything is just about cooked. And what I want here, I really don't want all that much sauce. I want the sauce basically to adhere to the chicken, to the meat. But whatever you do when you work with chicken, make sure that you cook it properly, that you cook it thoroughly, and that you clean all the surfaces where you have worked. I mean, the chicken should be addressed, and then everything should be washed thoroughly for you to proceed with anything else. Okay. I'm slowly watching it because I want the sauce to attach itself to the meat, but I don't want it to burn. A little parsley at the end. And we are ready. Just freshen it up with a little bit. Just a little bit of color, There's a wonderful aroma of vinegar, garlic, sausages, and this wonderful mahogany color. Can you taste that? Can you smell it? Well, I can tell you, it's wonderful. Pollo alla campagnola, country-style chicken. The name sounds comforting. It is wonderful. And it is one of my daughter's favorite, Tanya. And if it's her favorite, of course, makes me happy to cook it. These are the spring chickens, the small, about 1 pound. Let me show you. What this dish is best if it is the chicken with the bone, the whole, and the skin gets caramelized. So it's best that way. You can do it, I guess, with boneless chicken or with just breast, but you have to be careful not to overcook the breast. Okay, to debone the chicken, you just, nice sharp knife, and again, slow strokes, and you just get to the joint, and you just press out, and it will tell you exactly. Next we go to the wing, and again, just give it a little cut, and it will tell you exactly where it ends. Now the wing, you can cut this part off. I leave it on, and then you can take it off later on again. Now the neck, I usually take away. This is the backbone. It's actually, I like this part very much, to eat around the bone. It's the sweetest. So it's up to you if you'd like to put it in. I'm going to put it in, or if you'd like to save it. But don't throw it away. Whatever you do, don't throw it away. The necks and this, you can save it, and you can make a nice stock with it. Oh, that's Chicha. Do you hear Chicha? That's my dog. I have a Chow. I love it. It's beautiful. It has a blue tongue and is such a good watchdog. We're really in my house. We're really in my kitchen. So therefore, all the sounds are sounds that are sounds of my life. You see this skin, a little bit, if it just comes off like that, take it off. Keep it sort of, you don't want any appendages hanging, but keep a nice, clean pieces. You know, Chicha lives quite well also. I bring back from the restaurant ossobuco bones, and she waits for me every night. My husband is actually Felice. He's the one that takes care of her. And she waits for him and jumps up and down when she hears him coming. What you want to do here is a nice hot pan and really sear and brown the chicken. Okay, I think we have enough, so I'm going to leave that piece out. Cut any excess skin. Now again, when you work with chickens, you got to clean everything. You got to finish the dish, but then just wash everything off with soap and water to begin anything else. Okay, nice hot pan. I'm going to season it with salt, fresh pepper, and skin down as much as possible. These are some young potatoes, and young potatoes are nice, first of all, as far as colors and flavors, but you could use a whole large potato, Idaho, and then cut it in quarters. Wash it well. I like the skin in this dish. Wash well the skin and leave the skin in. Just cut it in half. Yes, Tanya, my daughter, she lives in Florence. She is finishing a doctorate in art history and Renaissance art historian. You know, sometimes it's funny how life sort of takes its turns We lived in Istria, which is a little peninsula, which was part of Italy. And after World War II, Italy lost the war, of course, and as the spoils of war had to give up certain territories. And Istria was the territory that Italy had to give up, all the way from Trieste to Fiume, and it went to Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia then had a communist regime, and after it really got all its boundaries, it really tightened up, an Iron Curtain went up. So my parents decided to actually escape that. So my brother, Franco, my mother, and I, we went as tourists. They wouldn't allow the whole family to go over because they knew that they wouldn't come back. And my father had to escape at night. As children, we didn't know that was happening. We just thought we were going on vacation. But then our father joined us, and we were all together, and life wasn't all that easy. We had family which helped us, but there was a camp set up. It was San Saba, and it was the camp for political refugees, they called them. And we stayed in the camp for a year and a half until the United States opened its immigration doors, and we were on a quota and finally accepted as immigrants in the United States. And that was in 1958. So I came here, I was quite young, I was 12 years old. I feel very American, I feel very Italian, so I feel bicultural. I really have two very strong cultures in me, and I feel so much richer. I'm getting everything nice and brown. You're watching the pot as I'm talking, right? I'm getting everything nice and brown. That's the idea. My husband Felice is also from Istria, and he did the same track that we did. He migrated as a young man by himself, and we met here in Astoria. So therefore we have a common background. And we took the kids back to Italy every year. I mean, my son Joseph was 9 months old when we first took him, and we spent 2.5 months up and down Italy in restaurants and wineries, and every year thereafter. So really they loved Italy as children. And of course, Tanya developed this love for Italian Renaissance art and married Corrado, an Italian, and is now living there. And she's doing her way of promoting the Italian culture through art. About a year ago, she started some gastronomical wine and art tours in Italy. So I'm going to join her actually at the end of this week. I'm going to go and join her on one of her tours. I'm putting in the hot peperoncino. You can use the crushed pepper or the whole peperoncino. And these are Kalamata olive or gaeta or any flavorful olives that you have. You add to it. They could be green. And they will sort of leave that earthy flavor onto the chicken and the potatoes. I'm going to season it well. And at this point, I'm going to put the onions. And the onions, I want in quarters because I want them crunchy. I don't want them completely sort of disintegrated. I want to have them caramelized, and I want to eat them crunchy with the chicken and the potatoes. Okay. I am going to lower the flame a bit now that everything is caramelized. I'm going to cover it and let it steam with its own juices. I'm not going to add any liquid at all. No wine, no stock, or anything. Just its own, but you have to sort of lower down. The water from the onions, the water from potatoes, from the chicken will be enough to really steam it. Let me check on the chicken. See, we had the caramelization, and now the steam is sort of cooking it, and you don't want sauce at all. You just want it barely to be to be wet. Okay, but you must remember to keep it at a medium to low temperature. And I have to tell you, finish the story of my family, of course. It makes me always happy. Then, I don't want to forget Dina. Now, Dina is Joe is my son's wife. And she is wonderful. She loves chicken too, by the way. She's Dina Damiano, and she is a third generation Italian in America. She's a wonderful young lady and just fell into our table. You know, the table is the center of our existence here. At least I communicate with food. Love, passion, emotion, hugs, kisses, it's all with food. We are almost there. I'm going to put some rosemary. And the rosemary, you can put it in the beginning, but even towards the end, you get even a fresher aroma instead of it burning on the bottom. You just want the aroma. And with herbs, keep out the woodsy part because that gives it a bitterness and it's tannic. With this chicken, I'm going to have some white wine, but you could have even a light red. A nice Chianti would be fine. A nice Merlot. I'm just in the mood for a nice Tokai. Tokai Friulano. Okay. I think that we are ready. And I'm going to serve this family style. It's soft, juicy. You can tell that the chicken is nice and moist. You know, in cooking, less is really more. You know, sometimes I'm going to put this and this and this. And by the time I eat some dishes, I says, my God, what a confusion. You know, the simpler, the less is always more. You have those 2, 3 ingredients and you let them really shine. Because as a cook, as a chef, what is my job is not to make ingredients. Nature gives me those wonderful ingredients for me to choose them, to choose the right ones, the best one. And then it is for me to exalt them and harmonize them. Now you see, it's the importance of this dish is the sequence. Chicken is crisp, the potatoes are nice and brown. The onion is wilted, and I want it like that. I don't want it, it's wilted, it's cooked, and it has a certain sweetness. It will be crunchy when you eat it. And some you know, I feel like you're almost family. I mean, you got to know my family. I hope you do. And you'll hear more. The more time I have, I'll pull you right in. But I love sharing my family with you. And since you're here with me, as we say at my house, let's go. Tutti a tavola a mangiare.